The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
Yeah, thought we'd take a look at Endeavour Group because this morning Woolworths announced that they were going to sell their final stake in Endeavour Group. Remember, Endeavour was spun out of Woolies a couple of years ago. They've kept a stake in it up till now. They're about to sell the last tranche worth $383 million. Also, Endeavour is going to expand its commercial property activities as well, identified 10 sites across Australia where it could develop new pubs, liquor stores and accommodation. They include Frenchs Forest in Sydney, Doncaster in Victoria, and as we said, Endeavour Group is now looking for a capital partner to pursue this plan. That's according to the AFR today. This extended property development strategy comes as the company battles a softening consumer environment. Stock was down 3.5% over the past year. Meanwhile, Woolies, as we said, deciding to sell its remaining stake for $383 million. David Lane, with Woolies getting out altogether, does that lift an overhang off of Endeavour Group? Will that be good for the Endeavour share price, do you think?
I think long term it probably will, yes, because you've seen Woolworths sell down progressively over, since it's listed. So now that they're out of the road, I think you're right that it does remove that overhang. Yep. We saw that Endeavour has suffered as far as the results were concerned. Their last result indicated that they have seen a softening as far as their overall earnings. But we are predicting that has probably seen the worst, and that going forward we will start to see some earnings improvement from Endeavour. Right. I think as far as the share price is concerned, it's been very volatile over the last 12 months, but we could well see a little bit of a bottoming, and as you said, a little bit of improvement as far as the overall market expectations now that Woolworths is out of the road.
So what sort of recommendation does Ords have on it?
So we've got a hold recommendation on Endeavour. We think that they're reasonable value at the moment. Their recent results haven't been wonderful, but we are predicting that they start to improve. And likewise, we've got a hold recommendation on Woolworths, so I tend to think that both of those businesses have been through some challenges. If you've got them in your portfolio, I'd be holding them and certainly looking at that share price. They are relatively low, but we'd like to start to see some improvement in momentum before we change it to a buy, I think.
Okay. Kai, what do you think of Endeavour?
Yeah, it's interesting that Woolworths has got rid of their last portion shares at $5.23, so it's trading around the price as it is. Now, in general, for Endeavour Group, our view is that it's been such a challenging industry to be in. Basically with pubs, a lot of pubs closing down because it's a discretionary spend, with cost of living, people are drinking less, you go out for a beer, it's just so expensive these days. Yeah.
Mainly because of the tax, we must say, that state governments and federal governments put on it too, doesn't help.
Yeah, people are becoming a bit more sensible with their pub spend. But in terms of growth, it's not really a stock that where you can really expect to see a lot of growth, because they actually own such a big market share in terms of the overall liquor sales, right? About 60% of the overall market. So I think it is smart that they're going into property, but in terms of growth, we're not really expecting to see that much for Endeavour Group. At these prices, they are cheap. I agree with David. I think, if you've already got the stock, it's at a cheap valuation, but we're not excited to get into this stock for growth potential.
Okay, if you're in it though, what do? Do you hold on to it?
Yeah.
Because it's always been painted as a defensive stock. Everyone goes, when times get tough, people still drink and gamble and go to the supermarket. Well, they're not.
It's too expensive. It's not. I think given the.
So it's not a defensive stock anymore, do you?
No, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't classify it as defensive.
I think we're seeing a bit of a generational change. That you're right. Historically, that has been the case, but now A lot of the younger generation aren't going out. There's been a lot of articles about, and we've seen it, that Friday afternoon drinks are no longer a thing. I think we could well be seeing a bit of a shift, and that's what Endeavour are sort of finding as far as their sales are concerned.
Okay, yeah, it's fascinating. All right, but if you're in it, you've still got a hold on it.
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
true.
in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Endeavour Group. That's our stock of the day.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.